Hey everybody, how you doing? Cindy over at paper.old.new. Thanks for stopping in and spending some time with me today. God bless everybody for being here. I want to make some cards, and we are going to. I've been messing around with all these like stickers that I have, these things and these little die cuts and stuff. I've had these for years. Okay, these came out of like when K and Company and things like that, when you would buy a scrapbook pad, sometimes there would be a couple of pages of these die cut things where you would get little medallions to punch out or little tags, little things like this. There would be punch outs in the fronts of some of the, scrapbook pads. So I have a whole bunch of them collected up, and I decided I was working on a card for one of this is kind of a kitten journal thing, because I was working on a card for one of the kitten journals, and I was just laying stuff on here and made it all patchworky, and I loved the way it turned out. So I decided, and then I even did the other side, like a little bit on this side, and there's journaling space that's decorated up, and it's kind of a tab. So I created this one, and I wanted to kind of walk through my process with you. You'll recognize some of the cards that we made in the last video where we worked on the kitten journals, and I was showing you that we were using up the scraps. So that's what I did. I used scraps to make the card, and then I took little extras to put on the top to decorate. So we're going to do something like that here, and I've come up with a couple. This was a card we made. Actually, I can't remember if I made this one after I turned the camera off or not. But anyway, this was a card I made out of scraps from the Shy Little Kitten. So that's this one. And since the last time you saw it, I have bound it. So I've put it in its cover. Okay. So these are the scraps from the Shy Little Kitten, and we're going to look at doing some card decorating on some of these cards that we had and see if we can't come up with a couple of these ideas. Now, basically, we're going to get this, and I think I put did I? Maybe I didn't. Excuse my tea. Oh, no, here it is. Okay. All right, so we have this. Now, we're going to look at putting some of these cards together. So basically, all I did was I took some of the die cuts and stuff out of this box, and this is a scrap. This is a cutoff scrap. And we're just going to kind of put these on here in a way that makes them look like a little strip collage down the edge of the card. I really like the way this turns out. I will say this. One thing about these punch outs is they have, the little pieces that connected them to the paper, so that would have been where it was connected, and then all of this was cut free. Those little pieces, those little nubs, I usually go and try and trim those off to give the edges a little more of a clean look. And, okay, so my recording software has a noise cancellation, so background noise gets canceled. I think it works well, but just in case it doesn't, if you're hearing background noise, it's my daughter in her room, which is like right next door to my room. She's practicing her violin. So if you hear violin music in the background when I'm not talking, it's her. She's practicing for, I want to say they have a church thing that they're doing, and she's practicing Amazing Grace on her violin. She just learned. I'm really proud of her. She wanted to learn how to play her violin for years. And when I sent her to this school, they have a music teacher that teaches if you want to learn how to play if you have a violin, you want to learn how to play, or you want to learn to play the violin, she teaches it. So, sorry, the edges were a little wide and raggedy, so I just trimmed them all up. There's another one of those little punch outs in this one, but I've been covering those up, so I'm not going to punch that out. As a matter of fact, I might. Hopefully it won't stand out at all. All right, so basically all I'm going to do is we're going to start gluing these pieces on and hope that we can get kind of a cohesive look. Now, the way I had it laid out doesn't have to be the way I do it. As a matter of fact, I could change this and go like this. And you can make them stick off the edge and then just cut them flat. I did that on here, down here at the bottom. I took them down and the card was too tall for the book. So I just cut it off. And I actually used the strip that I cut off that had a little bit of collage-y stuff on it. I used it to make a belly band, like a short little belly band across a piece of a page. So they don't have to be even with the edge of the page. So this could get cut off. And then we're just going to glue them down. Let me get my glue out. I really, I keep saying I really need to order more Sugar Bell bottles. But, you know. So anyway, I'm filming this. And we had snow again. This time it was like really wet, heavy snow. So, yeah. All right. So I'm going to glue that one down. I'll see what else we like on here. I just like to take some of these things because this will allow me to use up this stuff that's been sitting forever and just taking up space and me not knowing what to use it for. I found this and I was like, this is a great idea. Okay. Now, do I want to put this down now that I've rearranged a little bit? Maybe that goes down and maybe this goes here. What do I think of that? I kind of like that. Of course, I don't know what I'm going to do with the top now because I used up most of my pieces that I had going up there. Probably still going to put this on here, but it doesn't necessarily have to be at the top. This needs trimming. So how's everybody doing? Like I said, we got snow. Both my boys are off work today. That was kind of lucky. And they were out shoveling this morning. It's not a lot, but it was a couple of inches, so. And for some reason, the guy who drives our snowplow in town, I mean, every other place I've ever lived, they've had a way to, like, when they're plowing down the street, the snowplow, they will curve it in so that they're not blocking people's driveways and then create a pile and put it in like in a gap, either between houses or, well, in between houses, but either at the end of a cul-de-sac or on the side or, you know, whatever. We're in a cul-de-sac and there is a spot. When I was growing up, I lived in a cul-de-sac and that's what they used to do. Because we used to go out and play on the big mounds that they would build up. But they would turn, the plow is movable, so you turn it in and out. This guy just goes up the street and lets the ends of our driveways all get filled in with snow. So we have this big pile of snow, everybody does, at the end of their driveway that they have to shovel through or whatever. And on really bad snows, it's rough. I mean, I just wish you would, you know, learn how to manipulate his plow a little bit. Usually in a cul-de-sac, two of the houses at the end are set a little further apart, and there's like a space of land that goes between them that's kind of like an easement for, you know, pass through and snow removal and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, I'm complaining and I shouldn't be. Okay. So, I'm going to put this one down next. I can't decide if I want to keep it the way I've got it or if I want to kind of rearrange it back the way I had it. I mean, you guys saw it when I first turned the camera on, the way I had it strung down the edge there. But I'm thinking that I don't want to do it exactly like that. I also have this little fussy torn bird, and I want to put him on one of these, but I can't decide if I want to put him on this one, because he actually doesn't, I mean, he stands out on there, or if I want to put him on this one. So I got to figure out what I want to do with him. All right. So do I do that, or do I put this back up here? I don't know if I like that in the green. What if I put this at the bottom and kind of angled this in here? Everything's got rounded corners. I'm wondering if that's my problem with this. So let's see if this helps. It does, actually. That helps a lot. Okay. So we kind of need something to break up that brown, though. Like brown, brown. That's still brown on brown, isn't it? Okay. I should have just left it the way I had it. I was happy with it, and then I messed with it. The way I had it, this was up here, but I can adjust. Okay, how about that? And then we can put this down here. And maybe get something to put right here. Not sure what yet, but we'll figure it out. I don't know if I want to put the bird that low. Can we put the bird that low? Would he look funny that low? Not necessarily. I'm trying to decide how I like him on there. Do I want him up here in the middle? Let's glue this other stuff down that I know I like. So let's do this. And these are just like any other kind of like, I mean, they're collage making basically. So they're just like any other kind of like collage that you want to stick together. You have to, I mean, you just layer the pieces until you find a way that you like them on there. So they're, so like that. This did have ink on it, and then I went and clipped the corners, so. But you just have to figure out how you like it, obviously. Seems like a silly statement to make, doesn't it? I made the comment about no green on green, and down here that's what that is anyway. What if I put... This is the way I had it before. Okay, let's put this up in here like this. Yeah, let's do that. I don't know if some of the rest of you started out as like, this doesn't have to be like die cuts. Like I said, this little piece right here that I've got is a scrap that I cut off of something. So this is another way you can use up the littler scraps from your project. So you have these little scraps that you otherwise would probably throw in the trash. And here's a place where you can use them. Okay, now I had a thought to use this sticker right here, which will break that up a little bit. Or I can put it here. No, I like it better there. This is too far off to the side. Okay, so that would go there. I don't want to, okay, so this has this big, see, I like these, but I don't want to put another one of those right there. I think that's too close together. So I was looking for something else. And like I said, I have these stickers. I know I go quiet on you when I'm fumbling. Sorry about that. Okay, well, let's at least put this down. Little by little, we're making our way. I'm hoping to get at least two of these done. Probably just two. And then, that'll be, it'll give you an idea. And I am, like I said, I'm doing this with most of my, I keep doing that, putting glue all the way down where I don't want it to be. This glue that seeps out of the edges, I made the comment before, you got to clean it while it's in that rubbery semi-wet state. Because if you let it dry, it's there. There's no cleaning it off after that. So, anyway. I have been putting mushrooms on them, so I'm wondering if I could add this somewhere. And that way, several of the cards in this book will have these. The only issue I have is I have another book that has mushrooms. Of course, I have other mushroom stuff. It doesn't have to be these. So I might just use different mushroom stuff on the other one. Because I have one on here. Okay. We're going to put this on there. And this will kind of tie some of the cards together because I'll have these little mushroom stamps on 3 of the cards. Because if you remember, we made this card and I put one on there. They came in a strip of 3 out of some deco paper or something that I got off of Amazon a while back. They were probably in a haul from forever ago. So anyway, as I said before, so in preparing for St. Patrick's Day, I hope you guys will head over to my shop. I do have a St. Patrick's Day kit up, so you guys could head over there and see that. And how does this go on? I need to know where to. That. Okay, and I've handled this a couple times, so we're going to put glue on the back of this. It's been peeled off to You know how you audition things for spots on pages? This one's been peeled off and auditioned more than once. And since we put sing on here, I still want to use the bird, because the whole point of putting sing on there was because of the bird. So I still want to put him on here, but I'm thinking, what do we think? I kind of like him up there like that. Trying to figure out how I like him positioned. I'm wondering if I could get. I'm afraid of tearing him, but I want the fussy cut closer. This is old book. This came off of an old book page. See, I got his beak. That's what I was afraid of. All right, I don't want to mess with it anymore. This came off of an old book page, and I thought it would be fun to kind of tear it rather than cut it out. I'm a little upset that I tore his beak. Should have just left him alone. I salvaged some of it when it started to tear, but the very, very tip of it, I think, is gone. But I don't know. Might not be. Might just look gone because of the way it tore so close. All right. We're going to glue him down to the page. I'm kind of trying to cover up. I don't like necessarily having the little holes, because they're not serving the purpose that they would normally serve on a tag, for a little string or a little decoration. And I don't want them to, because I have to put this in a pocket. So I don't want it to have anything too bulky. I did have gemstones on that one you saw. So small, flatter gemstones maybe. Okay, and then all we have to do is cut off here and here. Okay, now I'm going to round these corners. If at some point I decide I want to cut angles in here to make a tag, I can still do that. But, as you know, if I cut the tag now and I decide I don't want it to be a tag, I can't really put them back. So we're just going to do that for now. And there's another one finished. I like this. I hemmed and hawed about it, and I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to like that. I don't know if I want to put that there. I don't know, blah, blah, blah. But they end up turning out really cute. It's just like with any other collage, the more you mess with it, eventually it comes around to looking like what you wanted it to, or what you weren't expecting it to, either way. Now, some of these bigger pieces, again, I'm going to bring up the example card. This did have some bigger pieces on it. I used some big pieces on that, but this card is a lot bigger. So, but you can use these bigger tags and stuff on your thing, which I think would be fun. So let's try and see if we can't work this one out. I really like... What am I hitting? Oh, there's glue on my mat. Trying to move this up so you can see it. Okay, I really like, this is a strip of wallpaper. Basically what I'm doing is I've decided I'm going to go down this side with the strip, because there's a branding. This is a Paper Studio card, and the front got taken off to use, I think I used it in a waterfall thing. So this is the back of the card, and it's got the branding strip on it. So we want to cover that up. And I don't suppose it really matters which way this goes, because I'm pretty sure it's supposed to go this way, which makes this butterfly upside down. So I have no idea. But so depending on which way you turn the card, obviously, which side your strip is going to be on. I was thinking I would put this on here. And I like a little bit of a gap. Okay. So, and then I have these from a piece of embroidered ribbon that I used to decorate in the book already. They're cut-off pieces. So again, I'm using cut-off scraps. It just happens to be that these cut-off scraps are from a piece of ribbon. So I thought we would maybe stick those on there. There is a squirrel in the book. And this little squirrel on here. So I'm thinking I might stick him on here. So like this, maybe. And this is where those bigger pieces come into play. Ooh, you know what? We're gonna do it this way. I'm gonna stick this on here like this. And maybe even yes, no. No, I don't like that. Okay, maybe even like this. And then what we'll do is we'll stick this going up into the tag. Like that. Yeah, I like that. Okay. And then we can have this guy down here. And that's kind of our bigger pieces. Now, this is going to be on one of these ends, I think. Like that. This one's going together a little better. Well, a little easier, I guess. Put this on this tag. And this out here on there. And then we might need one more piece to go in there. One more little, ooh, I might just use this plain square. Okay, guys, let's put this one down. All right. This one went a little faster. I also might use a couple of stickers. Let's put this one back down with this book. I had a sticker that said, well, I don't know what I did with it. Oh, maybe it's on one of these. Yeah, hugs. Which might go better in a different book, but I kind of like the idea of putting it in here. Plus the colors of it go with this particular color motif, so. I like it in here because he hugs his little forest friends that he finds. Or at least he isn't shy with them anymore, and he's kind of, he makes friends. So I just thought it would be cute. All right, so let's get this glued down. All right, I'm going to make this one, guys. We're going to glue this one down, and then I'm going to let you go. I just wanted to give you this little idea. I was working on these, and I wasn't necessarily going to bring you right back for a little kitten journal thing. The fact that I'm working on 5 of these, this many for the first time, is why this particular set is taking me so long. I know I normally take a while anyway, and a lot of times I don't even necessarily finish projects I start with you. But I think I'm going to turn this a little bit. In which case I'm going to have glue to clean up. But I will say that this project is big, and it's taking me, with my new being away from home schedule, this one's taking me a while. So, plus I've just been in a slump lately, guys. I don't know what it is, but even like coming up here to my craft room and messing around for a little while, and then I still go right back into my slump. It's kind of upsetting me because I really just want to do crafty things, but I don't know. I'm hoping. All right, so this is going to go on here like this, and we're going to cover up the branding. Glue this down. And then we're going to glue this down. I'm wondering if I should heat my hot glue gun up for these embroidery things. I'm going to let that heat up while we glue some of this other stuff on here. All right, so we're going to glue the squirrel one, and I need to trim the little spots off. There. The little nubbies are just, I mean, when you get it glued down on the piece, I mean, if you're looking at it, you can see them. They're not invisible. So I just like to try and clip them off if I can. Especially if you ink it, because I'm going to ink these, and when you ink it, it emphasizes the little nubbies. So I just like to trim them all. I do it with a lot of the punch outs that I use. Well, my glue's misbehaving again. I like it when my glue misbehaves. I always think it's funny when it misbehaves in the big bottle, because the nozzle is so, I mean, it's just so, that hole is just so big up there. I'm like, I don't know. I feel like it just shouldn't. Not that there's any rhyme or reason to that, I just... Alright, so we got that on there. Okay, and my glue gun is ready. So let's put this on here. Uh-oh, I think I positioned this differently. As a matter of fact, I'm positive I positioned it differently. I'm wondering if I could put... What do I think, guys? Just glue this all the way up on here. Oh, I haven't done the back yet. That's kind of fun, though. And it continues this pattern. Maybe I'll just cut it in half and glue it to the front. Seriously. Okay. This is kind of fun. And like I said, you do all this crazy stuff and then you look at it and you're like, hey, that actually worked out. And if I really want to, I can go like this and take that off over at that corner. Like, cut that off. And then we're going to glue this on here. Is this the one? The smaller one. I'm going to glue the small one on here. Like that. I say small one. It's like, it's also kind of jagged at this one end. I don't want to trim it because I know it's cutting into the black, but uh-oh. Please still be working. Its battery is running low. That's the only problem with cordless glue guns, guys. They unexpectedly say, I need this down first. Please just give me heat for one more thing, and then I'll plug you in. All right, guys, we're getting close to the end of this one, I think. I'm gonna have to take this. Oh, that's what I was gonna do. Shoot, and I didn't do it under the squirrel. This was supposed to go under here. I tilted everything the same way. I hate it when I do that. I'm going to run out of heat. I think I'm going to keep the angles. Like last time I clipped the corners. I think I'm going to keep them this time because I've got a lot of angular things going on here. So we're just going to keep those angles on there. Get rid of that white core edge. And I'll put this down. Hopefully I can still slip it under there. Yeah, just like that. And then we'll put this down. So, as I was saying, guys, I hope you like this idea. It's probably not new, but I had a lot of fun just kind of trying to use my bits and pieces here. I'm going to trim this one like I did the other one. We're going to trim it across here just to clean up the edge. And we'll trim this off. Again, just to clean up the edge. And we'll put, give me one more. Ooh. I'm getting hot glue out of it, guys. I'm hoping the flashy light. Okay, and then it can turn itself off now. All right, and we're going to put this right here. Like that. Okay, now we'll trim our edges. And there you have it. So that turned out really cute. I'm really pleased with the way it worked out. And we got 2 of them made, and then I had that one from the other book. And I'll be doing this with scraps from my other, what do you call them? My other little journals. And these will be one of the ways that I, decorate the cards. I just think these are fun. Oh, I forgot the little hug sticker. I think we'll put it right there. I'll be making some more of these because I have the other journals to do. I've been going through, as you can see, I bound that one. We worked on it, and then I went back and bound it. I'm going through and binding them all, and then I'm going to start filling the pockets. And that way, they should be all, I'm hoping soon, but we all know how that goes. But I'm hoping that I get them done relatively soon here. So I just really like the way these kind of, this collage down the side of a card thing. I like this. Just taking your scraps and throwing them together and making this little collage thing down the side of your card. I think it turns out really cute. It's a great way to use up stuff that you've got sitting around that you don't know what to do with. Because I really didn't. I don't know what to do with half this stuff. But this is fun. So, give it a shot. Pull out some of your scraps. Make yourself a card and, decorate it up. And I will talk to you guys later. Head over to my shop. Like I said, I have a St. Pat's Day kit in there that I want you guys to go check out. And spring is coming, so go check out the flower kits and the Easter kits that I've got up. And I will talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.